The Emperor has foreseen a new threat rising against him. The Podwans Podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of the Podwans Podcast. I am your host, Luke, joined by my co-host, Hereth and Ryan.
What's up?
What's up, everybody?
How we doing?
I'm feeling great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you? Good to talk about Covenant.
My favorite episode and my favorite character. One of my favorite characters.
Is it your favorite
If I could ever cosplay as somebody, if I ever chose to.
Oh, you can do it.
Covenant.
You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. If I cut my hair, I probably could do it as well because I actually have naturally gray hair. Believe it or not, it's not fabricated or anything like that. So.
Oh yeah,
I think
because
that
you've
would
always
be
had
fun.
gray hair, which is weird.
Since I was 18.
Which is so weird.
You got old quick.
Can't even blame my wife. But anyway, how's everybody doing on this fine Thursday, December 4th, 2025? We're exactly what? 6 months from the release of Mandalorian and Grogu?
About 5.5 months, yeah. End of May.
Which is crazy because we've only had one trailer, and that trailer really didn't. I mean, it shouldn't show much, but it's still
Let's be real. It was the same. It was the same trailer that they released at Celebration this year.
Didn't it like
There was
exclude some stuff just to be
Yeah,
like?
there was some missing stuff. A good bit of missing stuff.
Which to me, it's
Some
like.
missing things.
I mean, obviously,
It was a teaser trailer.
right? Like,
No.
I've talked about this before. I think Lucasfilm has an interesting way of doing marketing, and like nobody talked about this at length. Every single time we speculate on when trailers are going to drop, but they've always just done it the same way. It's like usually it's like we'll do a trailer. It's almost like they're treating us like Disney Plus on like a movie, but it's like they'll do one like 8 to 6 months before, and it's like very vague, and then people get mad and be like, "Wow, why isn't there more marketing?" Even though Lucasfilm always has reasons and data to prove why they're doing it the way that they are, and they release one closer to, and then they'll do the big press push 2 months before, and then the movie drops or the show drops. It's been the same way since
My question
Mando
is,
season 1.
When are we going to see Darth Maul Shadow Lord? Because isn't that supposed to be coming out in 2026? And so is Ahsoka season 2.
Well, Ahsoka season 2 is not until what? I know the leak speculated it's like September is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, it'll probably be like October. Filming would have just wrapped, I think. So it'll probably be. It might be September, but I'm thinking more later, like October.
Yeah.
All will allegedly a trailer is made for that and ready to be shown. May be released in January. So I can see maybe like a February release and leading up into Mando.
Grogu.
Yeah.
That could be interesting.
And I would think maybe the next Mando trailer.
Super Bowl?
I could see that.
I could see that as well. But they haven't really done anything Super Bowl wise.
I would say
Last time was Solo.
Yeah,
I think is when they did like a brief trailer and then Good Morning America, or I think did the full trailer the next day.
that would be smart because right now, it's not. I love how people are saying this is alleged leaked, even though Disney themselves came out and outright said it. Avengers Doomsday's trailer is coming out on December 11th, so it's smart. They want to get. If you're Lucasfilm, you want to get as far away from that as humanly possible.
Yeah,
Well, let's be real.
because that's Avatar. Avatar's next week, right?
Yeah, Avatar, Fire and
Avatar's
Ash.
next week.
So it's supposed to be, and obviously this is going to be the case for everybody, especially me. I live in a small town with a small theater. I don't get those exclusives like that. But Doomsday, Odyssey, and allegedly Spielberg's UFO movie will all have trailers attached to Avatar.
So you want to
That is
like
crazy.
get yourself away from December for trailers because you're going to get drowned out.
Yeah,
By those
at least
three.
with new stuff, I would kind of hope that they at least attach, because it is Avatar is a Disney movie. I would hope they would like at least attach the old trailer, just for people to see it.
Yeah.
I do know that movie theaters have already started putting posters and like the big stand-ins, which is nice. So people are still going to see it like that. I know some people are worried because, they ask their friends that about, are you excited for the Mandalorian movie? And they have no idea what it's going to be. That there is going to be a Mandalorian movie. But I also think that's like, one, you're still 5-6 months out. The marketing will probably pick up in January.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly think, I think a lot of people do know about the Mandalorian movie. Some people use YouTube views to point because it hasn't reached 10 million views on YouTube, but like the Zootopia 2 movie, I think the one trailer reached 11 million and others are like less than 10 million, and it is about to be like the biggest movie of the year. So I don't think views are necessarily like a big representation, at least YouTube views nowadays. I think Instagram and Twitter views are probably a much more accurate representation on engagement, especially with younger people, than YouTube is nowadays. So I don't think there's anything necessarily to worry about marketing until we get into like January, because as of right now, I think it matches what we've gotten with Star Wars movies in the past. I know it's been 6 years, but we would get a trailer in April at Celebration, then another one in October during Monday Night Football, and then the movie in December. Solo was the only outlier because it was weird because last year
it was a May release,
out, and Lucasfilm even still now has very like archaic marketing logic where they don't like advertising multiple live action projects at once. So
it's really weird. Like I said, I have a feeling with Mandalorian and Grogu, Lucasfilm's gonna kind of pull a page from WB with what they did with Superman, and they're gonna heavily lean into the press junket, and that's how they're gonna get the movie pushed. Is they're gonna put Pedro Pascal out on like probably Mr. Grory Weaver, and they're just gonna put him on interviews together, and the interviewers are gonna just do typical Pedro Pascal like weird questions, and that's how the movie's gonna get pushed, and people will go see it.
He's also gonna probably be on.
Pedro.
No, Doomsday comes out in December, does it not?
They won't do proper marketing for that until like June or July.
He'll probably get asked about that as well, if I had to guess.
You don't know the biggest sigh of relief, because I think I blew up the group chat that day when it got pushed, because I was having Solo flashbacks where I'm like, why are we putting an Avengers movie with a Star Wars movie? Have we not seen the story before, even though they're going to do it again with Secret Wars? It's like, have we not seen the ending to the story?
Well, I'm sure that will change too as well, because budgets movies are still being made. It seems like studios are taking their times now with things. But ND Wise Guy Nick, what's going on? He says I'd rather. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna point out, like, he brought up like the Kimmel distraction trailer. To be fair, that trailer was supposed to come out like on that day or the next day after the Kimmel drama. So that wasn't necessary, and they delayed it by like a day or two just to like not make it seem like it was a distraction. And because they know they would have just been bombarded with a bunch of stuff on social media about it. Yeah. So it was always meant to come out like around that time, and it probably got delayed by a day or two. It was just, it was a teaser trailer, and it just came out at a very awkward time for Disney.
No, 100%. And Disney, don't get me started on Disney. I think they're just like every other capital.
Disney, the corporation, very bad. The creatives, cool.
Yeah.
But the executives, yeah.
Yep, pretty much. Yep, Ryan, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Always got to specify when we say we love Disney and Lucasfilm, we mean the creatives.
But guys, I thought we're shills to Disney. I thought that's what our comment section says all the time.
Yeah, well, we haven't had a comment section get really spicy in a long time, so.
Because it's not like we're grifters and out for the money. Because if we were, we'd be having very different videos.
Oh, dude, when the Acolyte season 2 comes out, that's gonna be crazy. I still think that's probably gonna. I honestly think that's probably going to happen. I think
a variation of it will happen in some sort.
I still think it's gonna be a Khmer show.
I think it should be a Khmer show. It should be a Plagueis and Khmer show. Beat bopping around the fucking galaxy,
and then
trying to figure out how midichlorians can create life.
And I'm not trying to defend like the action of them canceling the show, because obviously I think that was wrong. But they can always just pull out the angle of, well, Osha and May's story technically concluded at the end of season 1, so this is the natural next step.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Um, is there anything that you guys are looking forward to? I mean, we're in the Christmas season now. Obviously, everybody. I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. Probably should have started the show off that way, but oh, and Happy Life Day. We missed that, so that's great. We're doing real awesome with
You know,
celebrating.
we're off by like almost a
Oh,
month for Life
Dude,
Day.
I was gonna say that happened like 2 weeks ago, my guy.
Yeah,
'Cause
2
I
weeks.
think we did have a podcast when
We did. It was
Oh,
the
well,
season
it
1
happens.
finale.
No,
Oh,
I wasn't on that one.
was I there?
I mean, it was both on. It was a miss on both of our parts. Because it's November 17th.
Wow. All right. Well, we just
Yeah.
fucking suck.
Fake Star Wars fans
Plan out a
cancel.
and we'll meet together January just to plan out a calendar, just to like have a remind us of all the events so we can talk.
No,
about
yeah,
them.
we definitely will have to do that.
Well, that's on me.
Um,
I'm the calendar guy on this podcast.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, Star Wars is in a weird, like, non-content stream right now, so there's
We're in
not
a
really.
lull. It happens.
I mean,
Yeah.
technically, we're kind of not in a lull.
What do you mean?
I mean, I was trying to use that as a segue for Ryan to talk about
Oh,
Destiny.
for the Destiny 2 expansion,
Oh,
the Star
yeah,
Wars,
that's true. That's true.
the officially
Uh,
sanctioned Star Wars themed expansion for Destiny 2 Renegades.
Oh, we do have Young Jedi Adventures next week.
Is
all
it this
right.
week or is it like tomorrow or Saturday or
It's
next week? Is it
It's
next
next
week?
All right, Luke. I know reactions are dead on this channel, but when are you going to do inebriated Young Jedi Adventure reactions?
Oh.
Hey, it's
Don't
not too late to do a
touch
holiday special.
We haven't done that.
We've
And
we've
Atlanta
talked
hasn't
about it
brought
for
that up
like
in
3 or
days.
4 straight years. Dead ass.
Honestly, I'd be down to do that one night.
What holiday
we can
special or
ever- if we
inebriated
get-
Young Jedi Adventures?
If we can ever get a crew together, finally record that damn quiz show that I want to do.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, eventually.
Nixon.
We know how to keep ourselves busy even in the walls.
Oh yeah, we do. With Gridiron Guys and this and ugh, football season, awful. Anyway, Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Never played it. So what was your kind of your takes, Ryan? I've seen
So-
some of the content that you've been doing for it.
So Destiny 2, for people who haven't played it, is very much like Star Wars in a sense that it is space fantasy and not science fiction. It's just instead of a galaxy far, far away, it is in our own solar system. Light and dark play a very big part in the game. Bungie, the developers, partnered with Lucasfilm Games to do a very heavily Star Wars inspired story. There's a lot of elements that are taken directly from Star Wars, just with a Destiny twist and Destiny aesthetic to it. There is a Death Star, except it's not a planet killer, but there's Jedi and Sith, there are lightsabers, there's stuff like that. I just completed the story earlier today. It's a very short story. The expansions aren't necessarily that long, typically. But I enjoyed it. It is very much a Star Wars story in Destiny. But it still feels like Destiny. You can easily identify when they're Star Wars. Like, there are planets in Destiny, planets and moons, like, for example, Europa, which is a snow and ice planet.
Mhm.
They used a lot of Hoth aesthetics in there. So there is one of the races, the Fallen, have these walkers that have been in the game since the beginning. But in the snow, there is a walker that is destroyed and fallen exactly. It looks exactly like the AT-AT walker that has fallen in the snow. And there's looks what to be like an ion cannon and all that kind of stuff. And the main big bad guys, the Imperium or the Galactic Empire, and they have that same aesthetic as them. But I enjoyed it. I know a lot of hardcore Destiny fans, when it was first announced, were not big into it. They didn't like the idea of Destiny kind of becoming Fortnite when you just bring in a whole nother IP. Even though outside of a couple of armor sets
Mhm.
that they took directly from Star Wars,
Mhm.
you can dress up like Darth Vader or General Grievous or Kylo Ren or Stormtrooper or Boba Fett. But outside of that, everything else is basically a Destiny.
Original.
It's Destiny-fied Star Wars.
Okay. But did the mechanics work? Like, what did it make sense for Destiny?
Oh yeah, like
era?
I mean, mechanics-wise, the only thing that was really like, I would say, Star Wars adjacent for mechanics is the lightsaber, and swords already existed in Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
So like
really?
the only so the only thing they really did new with lightsabers is one, you go through this mission for the Praxic Order, which is essentially their Jedi Order. And to do that, and then you can customize it. You can customize the crystals in it, so you can have any color. A lot of the crystals you have to earn in game for doing certain tasks, but you either get blue or green when you start. It's Destiny, which I know may not mean a lot to y'all because if y'all not played it, but like it still very much feels like Destiny with a Star Wars coding on it.
I mean,
I've been meaning to ask a friend who really plays Destiny a lot, who wasn't really into the idea of how he felt after finishing it, but I mean, I enjoyed it.
I have no excuse not to play because it's Destiny 2 is free on Battle.net, so you can literally just open your computer right now, install it on Battle.net, and just get it.
I
ready
will
to go.
warn you, the new player experience is pretty bad because there's just so much content, and to my understanding, it doesn't do a good job of directing you on how to play it.
I will not be playing this game, but I love that it's that Star Wars is getting into new mediums.
And I've always wanted a Star Wars game that felt like Destiny in terms of like not necessarily an MMO, but like a first-person RPG type thing. Yeah, with co-op in it. Like the gameplay itself, regardless of how people may feel about the FOMO and whatnot of Destiny, the gameplay loop for Destiny has always been satisfying for me. Bungie's always made incredibly playing games. Like they just feel good to play. And so like I've always wanted something like that for Star Wars.
Yeah.
I still have not played Outlaws. I feel like that one I'll still
Dude, it
hold
was like on
review.
sale for Black Friday for like $5 or something like that. Like you missed out.
It's okay.
And I think the
I'll
game
figure out-
has genuinely gotten so much better since launch.
Oh yeah, the updates and then the DLC. Yeah, like it's in a much better place.
Yeah, which is usually how most Star Wars games end up turning out.
I
To
mean,
be real here.
I wish you were on that discussion that we had on Pod Ones with like Pep and stuff, because like Chase and I were really like arguing like really good points, because like even because we were arguing when it was in its launch state, that we thought like the discussions around the game were just super overblown and people were just like hating on it just because it's a Ubisoft game. And to me, I was just like, this is just an above average game with the Star Wars coding on it. And I thought like I very much enjoyed the second half of the story compared to the first half of the story, because like once you start getting into the heist elements of it, that's when the game takes off, in my opinion.
Yeah, I had a friend who played it for the first time last week when it went on sale, and the one thing he told me is that he's enjoying it, but he said it didn't need to be open world, which for the most part, in some cases, I would agree. There are some planets that are just a pain to travel through. So
Yeah, if it was like
100% agree with
a
that.
linear Uncharted type of game, I think it would have been better.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. So,
I was gonna say, before we go in, do we want to talk about the alleged Mandalorian and Grogu plot description?
yes, take it away, Ryan.
So this, I believe, comes from a German Blu-ray DVD website. So like the description it's translated from German, so it may not be 100% accurate, but people caught up on it. It also may not be. I believe like 80% of this is like true based off of what we know. But it says the Empire has been defeated and the remnants of its force scattered to the four corners of the galaxy. Yet some of the former commanders of the Dark Era cling to their power and have become dangerous warlords. Din Djarin, together with his apprentice Grogu, track down and neutralize these cells. Several clues lead him to Karzoon, where they not only manage to infiltrate an almost forgotten Imperial facility, but Grogu also discovers an ancient artifact that functions as an amplifier of his abilities. That last bit sounds like it's probably not true.
It sounds like every stereotypical Star Wars leak where it's like they're getting this information like secondhand on the telephone, and it always just sounds like someone who doesn't know Star Wars is like telling them this information, and they're like it reminds me of Luke. You remember when the Ahsoka leaks were happening and people were talking about how Ahsoka was going to time travel to Revenge of the Sith? and like fight Anakin
Yes.
on
Oh,
Mustafar.
Well, I will say that did come from a reliable person, and I think at one point that might have been true. I just don't know if.
No, but it's like that's how, in my opinion, all Star Wars leaks come across. It's like it always comes like off from like a producer or like a secondhand person that doesn't know what's going on, and
Yeah.
they're just trying to like scream the information out, and then the person who's writing it just doesn't have the whole picture.
We'll see. I don't know.
So I will
I
say
think the first part of it sounds
That
pretty
sounds very
accurate.
plausible.
up until the planet of an Imperial facility, that sounds true. Because based
Oh,
off of the
100%.
based off the trailer that we saw at Celebration, where they're like infiltrating that Imperial base on a snow planet and whatnot, I think that's the beginning of the movie.
Oh, 100%. That's like your
So I
Return of the
will say, I
Jedi, Revenge
don't-
of the Sith style opening.
Yeah, I don't think the planet name is called Karzoon, and I have a reason for that. And I don't know if that ancient artifact is true. I don't know where this website would be getting this. It's just a random Blu-ray disc website from Germany, so I don't know where they're getting that from.
Yeah.
But the reason why I say Karzoon is not real is because if you Google Karzoon, well, I think you can just Google Karzoon on Google, it will bring up a Star Wars role-playing website. That's the only mention of this name, Karzoon.
What
And-
system is it from? Like Fantasy Flight?
No, so it's not even. It's like a fan-made Star Wars RP site.
Interesting.
But the thing is, though, any mention of that name on that website is from this year, from like this summer.
Interesting.
So this is like some like fan-made stuff.
It's a
that I
board.
don't
It's a
know.
Star Wars board game, from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, it's from StarWarsRP.net is where I found it.
Interesting.
And it's 7 years old. Okay.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that. I never saw that part. But like I saw mentions of it this summer, so I don't know. I'm not. It doesn't sound like it's a planet. I don't know.
Huh.
Interesting.
I would say the first half of that is absolutely 100% on point, and it's so funny because it's like, that's just Rangers of the New Republic, guys. Literally, Mandalorian
Did
crew
y'all-
is the Rangers.
I
of the New
know
Republic
we're getting ahead of
for
ourselves in
sure.
our rewatch, but it's like, did y'all not pay attention to the season 3 finale? Because it legitimately looked you
Yeah.
in the face and went, "Hey, Din's a Ranger of the New Republic."
Yeah, 100%, 100%. But yeah, I think it's get really exciting. My thing is do we get references of Thrawn and what he's doing at this point? Because I feel like
That
it's
was the
gotta
discussion
be-
Ryan and I had 2 weeks ago when we had the
Yeah,
episode 6
I-
discussion.
Yeah.
I think they have to kind of bring that into fruition a little bit.
There'll be
Um,
hints. Whatever like they deal with it with whatever Imperial warlords they deal with, there'll be some sort of
because there has they
connection there.
set that up so much in season 3 that I feel like they need to pay it
Well,
off.
Ryan and I were talking about it. We think at most you're going to get is they're going to just talk about how Thrawn is back in the galaxy, but they don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah,
And that's it.
Yeah,
That's all you're going to get.
100%.
And then they're going to touch on it in
can
Ahsoka
see
season
that.
2. And then that's probably going to be the ending scene to that. We'll
Endgame
set up
for
Filoni's movie.
Dave Filoni's movie. Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true. All right, let's talk about Cobb Vanth.
Cobb Vanth.
Cobb Vanth. All right, so we're gonna be talking about season 2, episode 1.
Peak.
I
Very
really
much.
really enjoyed this first episode. Like season 1 and season 2, episode 1, they just knocked the ball out. Of
Well,
the
not
park.
even just season 1 and season 2. All the premieres they've knocked out of the park. See, I even really like season 3's premiere.
I forget what season 3 3
The pirates invading Navarro, and Din is coming back to Navarro, and then you get the Grogu.
Yeah,
and-
I remember
and
it now.
yeah.
That is a good one too. Yeah, it seems like they do really well with like starting, and then it's just like the J.J. Abrams, like, ooh, can't finish.
Except
Even
season
though I would
2
argue
and season
it's
1 are the
still-
exception
I
to
don't
the
know.
rule.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
Season
Yeah.
3 is the only one where I say that is the case. Season
3 is kind of a whoopsie.
But season
But
1 and season 2,
yeah, season 2, yeah, those finales are insane. I can't wait
Well,
to
like,
talk about that finale.
obviously,
it's
like
so
I think the opening
So
to this
good.
episode's so fucking good too, with Din going into the arena and having that
100%,
conversation
yeah.
with.
Yeah, what's his bucket? He's like, ugh,
Go ahead, spit
sorry.
it out.
He, thanks, Ryan. He starts off with like saying like, "Oh yeah, like like Din's just like out here like, bro, I need information. I know you have it." And the guy's like, "Give me your best scar armor."
You a gambling man?
Yeah, you a gambling man? And Din's like,
Well, if I don't have
actually, I like my finances. Thank you very much.
Din's
I've got a
like-
child to feed.
Din's like, no, I'm not addicted to sports gambling, my guy. I'm not gonna do your fucking parlay.
Yeah, no, I don't want any. I don't believe Gamorrean guard number 2 over here is gonna win. Okay, like, come on.
the over under
fact
just
that he-
not looking good.
No. Yeah, the over under, like, dude, I had him as a knockout in the 3rd round. We're in like the 15th. Like, what are we doing here? It just, and the fact that the guy is like, yeah, he won't last another minute and a half, and then gacks him. It's like, dude, that you're rigging it. That's not fair. Of course you're gonna win every.
He
single
wants him to cover
time.
the spread.
I will say this: I love the fact that he's like, yeah, I usually have to go to the hive minds of Mandalorians and take your pretty little shells. I was like, you know what? That's a really good line. That's very good writing in this episode. Like, it's very, 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 very good. But what were your guys' kind of thoughts on this for opening scene?
Well, like-
Not even the opening scene, but like
Well, like,
moving forward.
one of the things I really like with this opening is kind of like, it's like very John Wick-esque, like with the way that the
Yes.
cinematography is, the way the writing is, and the way that like, because like I love when Star Wars like dives really deep into like the underworld like sliminess of the galaxy, and I feel like that does a really good job of like, because like it immediately reactivates the stakes from the season 1 finale. Like, Grogu is a wanted entity by the Empire. Mandalorians are dying and are rare, and everyone's wanting everything in their power to take both of them out. And I think that does a really good job of like reintroducing you and like putting you back into that world. And like a quick 10-minute opening scene. Plus, I also love the way that Star Wars, because like they hired a graffiti artist to do like all the background stuff on the streets, and the guy was
and
gonna get compensated
he-
for it, and he said, "I don't want to be paid for this. I want to just be a fucking fan. Can you guys just put me in the episode instead?"
Yeah, that's right. Wasn't he one of the Gamorreans?
No, he's like one. He's like
No.
an audience member next to Din.
That's what he is. Yep. That's right. And the way just like Din just casually just like takes them all out. Just like, brother, just kicks everyone's ass. It's hilarious. And then he has his little Batman moment where he like batarangs the guy and just like hangs him up.
Well, the fact
He's
that
like,
that
Oh.
Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau originally wanted Din to say McClunky when he shoots him in the head was so funny. And have you not seen that behind the scenes where they're joking about that, like actually putting that in the episode? Like when he has him hanging, he was like, Jon Favreau's like,
That's
you should say
funny.
McClunky. And that was right when the special editions were changed for A New Hope.
I was gonna say that's funny when you mentioned that because I mean those were the versions that came out with Disney Plus,
Yes.
and that episode was being filmed right when Disney Plus and Mando season 1 launched. So they probably saw people like noticing that line. They're like, "What if we just put that in there?"
Oh God, could you imagine? People
That
would
would've
have
been
lost their
hilarious.
That would've been
ever-loving mind. And then he gets told that there's a Mandalorian on Tatooine. Tatooine. It's vastly populated. I love the way, and not to go on a tangent, but I love the way they say Tatooine in the Plagueis book, audiobook.
I thought you were referencing Phantom Menace when you're going Tatooine.
No, Tatooine. I because of the way who does the audiobook. For
Is
that?
it Jonathan Davis?
It's the butler from The Nanny. You didn't know that?
What?
You didn't know that? I remember finding out about
No
that years ago.
way.
Yeah. Hold on.
Pull it
I
up,
can't-
please.
Nanny.
Because that just blew my mind
Is it
too.
really?
Yes.
No
swear to
fucking
God.
way.
Yes, it's Daniel Davis. Hold on.
No fucking way.
I'm trying to find
Jeffrey?
something good.
Jeffrey, that's the butler's name, right?
I believe so. Hold on.
No fucking way. That's crazy. That's wild. Oh my god.
Yeah.
This man. Damn. What a fucking
Oh,
G.
Oh,
That's so
yeah.
cool.
Daniel Davis, narrator.
That's awesome. I actually love that. Now, whenever I watch The Nanny, I'm like, oh my god, there's Plagueis.
Oh, he also
Sorry.
narrated a short
You mean-
story in From a Certain Point of View. Return of the Jedi.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he
he did.
did. Which one was it? Oh, it was
Between-
Piet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Piet. That's right. That's right. That's right. Well, the more you know. That's awesome. I just love how he's like, yeah, it's on. Yeah, the guy's on Tatooine. He's like, dude, I've been to Tatooine multiple times. Stop bullshitting me.
He was like, Cap.
yeah. I've been to Tatooine multiple times. Never run into another one of me. So where's he actually at? And then I love the fact that he's so ruthless and just shoots the light out and he gets eaten.
Yeah.
And I also love the close up that they do before they cut to like the main title. I liked that a lot. That was like a really nice touch.
You're skipping out on the lines of like, "Don't kill me," and Mando says, "Okay,
Oh,
I
yeah.
promise you won't kill me I won't kill you by my hands."
Which is
Yeah.
that's where you that's more of the Batman vibes than him fucking hanging him there. That's like Batman Begins.
Well,
That's type
yeah.
shit. The I will
Dude,
kill you,
Batman
but I won't
Begins.
have to save you either. Type shit.
Yeah, Batman Begins. Honestly, I love the Dark Knight trilogy. It's such a good. Honestly, that's my Batman. I'm sorry, this is going off on a tangent. Sorry.
Now we're
Back to Mando.
Now we're back to Tatooine. Back to Nostalgiaville.
No, dude. Honest.
All
Tatooine.
roads
I
lead
wish.
back to Tatooine.
I wish Tatooine was more populated and had water like it used to. I want to see, honestly, like the origin story of how Tatooine went from a water planet or like Earth to being Mars, basically.
I could see it being like a Vader Immortal type VR game, maybe. At most.
That
Really?
sounds like a discussion for when we get to the Book of Boba Fett. 'Cause
Oh
those
yeah,
are
that
some
is
theories
true.
that popped out
Yeah.
during Book of Boba Fett.
That is true. Yeah, he does go to get the psychedelic lizard up his nose.
But we're getting ahead of
Man.
ourselves.
Yeah, sorry. All right,
Give it a couple of months.
somebody want to take it away
Well, I mean, we're back to
with the next part?
yeah, we're back with Pelimato. Pelimato just starts referencing episode 5.
She's a G. She takes the cake for this episode, by the way. Besides Cobb Vanth, I love her. Every single time she shows up on the
For her
screen, I
like
love it.
15 seconds of screen time.
Yes, it's she. But she like with the 15 seconds of screen time, she absolutely fucking nails it. I love it. Anyway, sorry.
To me,
Go
it's
ahead.
like I don't know if this is just me. I prefer Pelimato in episode 5, which is a really weird thing to say. I feel like this one she was just kind of hamming it up more because it was like, oh, I was in Mando season 1, so I'm just gonna ham it up even more. And then she like every line, I swear, is just a Star Wars reference, and it's just like, okay.
Oh, R4. No, our boy R4.
Well, not even just R4. It's like the pit droid reference, the thank the Force, like, and it's just like every single line. It's just like, okay, we get it. Just move.
Damn, Hereth, it sounds like you didn't like this episode.
I do love this fucking episode. It's just like Pelimato. It's
You're hating on women. Wow.
wow.
How dare you. Cancel Hereth. Cancel Pod Ones.
You're gonna say,
Moving on to
hey. Ryan's favorite episode is the Marshall, and I will agree. For me, it's the penultimate episode. But my second fucking favorite outside the finale is the Bryce Dallas Howard Bo-Katan episode. So don't fucking say I hate women.
Oh yeah, that's fair. That is a good episode. I like that episode a lot, actually.
Anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. That's within 2 weeks. Anyway,
Guns for Hire? You like the episode Guns for Hire?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was the season 3 episode with Jack Black.
No, I'm talking about the season 2 episode. You fucker, you
Son of a
motherfucker.
bitch. You son of a bitch!
Hey,
How
I have good
dare
memories
you.
of that episode because I watched that in London in Airbnb before Celebration.
Yeah, that was the episode that came out before Celebration. I remember watching it that
Yeah.
morning before I got to the airport, and I watched it again when I got to the airport.
I remember Celebration 23 like it was yesterday. I had a chance to go see Mando, the episode of Mando, but I gave my thing to Brooke that night. She got to go see the new
Yeah, because
episode.
you didn't get into the studio showcase like a Bulbasaur.
That wasn't my fault. Hopefully, Celebration 2027 isn't as stupid as that.
Hey, you should have got up at 6 in the morning like Bale and I did and got your ass in line.
Well,
Because you know, as soon as, because Bale and I remember, I talked about this last week or a couple weeks ago with Ryan. I remember with that, they were like, oh, the doors will open at 8 p.m. GMT. Bale and I looked at each other like 5:45 and said, that ain't fucking happening. Let's get our ass down there now.
yeah, that's fair. Ryan, you're planning on going to Celebration, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. All the pod ones should be there, I believe. Don't know if we'll all get a house together, but we will all be
Pod One's
there.
Airbnb would be crazy. Probably hotel block or hotel rooms probably more likely.
Yeah, we'll see.
We got that's a decision 2 years from now. Anyway, back to the episode.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, we get
Anybody
into
want to
the Mos Pelga type moment where you're like, oh look, Mos Pelga is like completely off the map. Then you should go over there, and then you get the awesome Ludwig rendition of the Mando theme, but like more Western with the acoustic guitar. And
So good.
again, I know everyone talks about like the season 2 finale as like Ludwig's like best work on the show, but for me, it's this episode. Like on rewatch, I'm like, dude, this episode has a fucking kick-ass score.
Yeah, it does. It really does have a really good score, for sure. And then we get introduced to Cobb Vanth and Ryan. Take it away. Your favorite character.
Cobb Vanth. I can remember before the episode came out, Cobb Vanth, I believe, was one of the castings that came out months before. Like the trades were reporting that Timothy Oliphant was cast, and he was cast as Cobb Vanth. And when fans found out, it was actually pretty wild because Cobb Vanth is just a character that shows up across 3 chapters in 3 books of the Aftermath trilogy. He has an interlude chapter in each book that kind of covers his backstory of getting Boba Fett's armor and becoming the sheriff or marshal of Freetown or Mos Pelgo. And we get like a little loose retelling. There is definitely some major changes.
Right, because I remember at the time, and even like up until Book of Boba Fett, like that was a fucking hot topic. It was before the Kanan Jarruses of the world with Bad Batch and before Tales of the Jedi. This was the giant retcon that had everyone crying about how Lucasfilm doesn't care about books, which again, before this episode, I actually went back and revisited those 3 chapters. I'm like, because I read the Aftermath trilogy last year, and I was like, I don't remember this fucking being that bad. And I read it back. I'm like, not much of a difference there.
No,
like,
I think the only major thing is
it's
probably how he got the armor.
It's just characterization stuff.
So this is just kind of brief summaries on Wikipedia. So in Aftermath, Adwin Charo, a representative for the Red Key Raiders crime syndicate that sprouts up on Tatooine after the death of Jabba the Hutt, meets with a group of Jawas for some mining equipment, as the syndicate wants to work under the guise of a mining company, yet cannot come to any agreement with the Jawas. Cobb Vanth, present on the Jawas' vehicle, presents himself as someone who is willing to help Adwin find purchases for the collective, as Cobb has a rapport with the creatures. After examining the wreckage of Jabba's barge, recovered from a Sarlacc recently eaten by a great dragon, the pair comes from some Mandalorian armor, both pulling blasters upon the other and seeking to acquire it, with Cobb shooting Adwin. Cobb orders the injured Adwin to tell the rest of the Raiders to cease their operations or he will come for them, then leaves with the armor.
Yeah.
So it is a bit different, but still same but different.
Right. And I remember it's like more of a hostile standoff compared to just like, hey, can I have that armor? And then obviously the location of the Jawa sail barge is like further into Tatooine, but in the show it's more like closer to Mos Pelgo. It's just like stuff like that. And then
and then
obviously
I
the
guess,
tone, I guess the characterization stuff,
Yeah.
like he's more aggressive, and it's
Mhm.
obviously trying to be like he's more like portrayed as like a typical bounty hunter, while in this he's more like just a heroic sheriff in this episode.
And then like in the chapters in Life, Debt, and Empire's End, I mean, those aren't necessarily talked about in the show. Although I guess there is one thing I think in Empire's End that the raiders and the people of the town agreed to kind of essentially be friendly with each other. They're like allies, but then I guess we find out in the show that is kind of blown up. The raiders have like raided the town. Cobb Vanth fights back and whatever, so they're back to being hostile again.
Yeah,
But,
and
other than that first chapter, that first book is probably like the only major change that is relevant.
right. And then I also remember before Book of Boba Fett, people were in a fucking tizzy because Cobb Vanth constantly called it Mos Pelgo, and people were like, "It's Freetown," and then finally in Book of Boba Fett, they finally correct it.
Mhm.
But I remember that even was being like a hot topic back in the day when this episode came
Yeah.
out.
I mean, I liked it just because I thought it was like the perfect example of them acknowledging the books, even
Yeah.
though there were changes. Like it was still an acknowledgement that doesn't really happen with Star Wars a lot. And I think it's around the time they started doing the shows is when they really started to embrace non-movie and show
Right.
canon.
And
So it was still like a fun moment.
And to
see.
me, it's like I think like I was joking earlier, like compared to like the other retcons, like I think this one's super fucking small in the grand scheme of things. The other ones are like way more abrasive, like that you can point out, and be like, that's fucking clear differences between
Yeah.
books and visual media. I just think like hell, like again, don't get me wrong, I fucking love this retcon to death. Like you can even go back to Andor and be like, that is fucking completely different. Obviously, we've come up with a justification for why that is because of like, obviously that's the Rebels cover story of how Cassian got K2, and that's what they just came up with and lied about. And you can come up with justifications for all of them, but it's like, I think there are way more deeper retcons at hand that we can like pull our hair out over in Star Wars compared to this one. But anyway,
Yeah, so
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna. You have anything else to add with the Cobb Vanth introduction on?
Mm-mm.
Cobb Vanth is great. I love him as a character. I think he's.
I love
very,
the way he
very
talks.
Yeah, Cobb.
The,
Vanth. I'm a
the-
badass motherfucker.
I
The
remember-
line, I guess every once in a while, both suns shine on a womp rat's tail.
Yeah, it's so
A
good.
bunch of jargon, but it's like so Star Wars.
Well,
Well,
like-
and the fact that he's driving a part of Anakin's old pod racer
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
hilarious as well.
Well, Luke, obviously, because like I read Aftermath when I was 13, like right before The Force Awakens. Like, what was your kind of experience like? Because like obviously Ryan talked about it, I talked about it a little bit, like 2020, like
Reading
seeing that episode.
Aftermath, honestly, like that trilogy got shat on back in the day.
It was primarily because of like how it was written, right? Like a lot of people didn't like how
Yes.
the style of writing.
And
which-
also,
Yes, it wasn't great. And
I-
Chuck Wendig burnt a lot of bridges with Lucasfilm.
well,
After that
I also
trilogy.
think no matter how good the trilogy was going to be, I think having it be the big trilogy during the sequel trilogy, like especially the journey to Force Awakens, like kind of just sunk the book before it even started. Because people were like putting
Yeah.
so much expectations onto it because they're like, oh, this is the setup for Force Awakens and it comes out next month. Oh my God, this must be an insanely
Well-
amazing book. It's going to make Heir to the Empire. Oh, wait.
Well, and the fact that it did give you, I mean, if you read between the lines, it gives you the Palpatine has returned stuff
Yeah.
pretty easily.
even though that necessarily wasn't the intention at the time.
That wasn't the intention at the time, but it does make sense.
I feel like,
Because I think it was like it's been a while since I've read those books because it was like there was some stuff where like I guess Palpatine was sensing something out in the unknown regions, and
used-
people assumed that was Snoke. That was
yes,
the
people
assumption at
assumed
the
that was
time.
Snoke.
I feel like,
Yep, that is true.
I-
No, people thought that Gallius Rax was Snoke. For
I
the
remember, I
longest.
remember that
that
theory
one.
for the longest
Yeah.
time. And like, again, I do agree with Ryan. Like, I do feel like they purposely made it vague enough to keep that door open just in case they wanted to go. I don't think it was like just a thing they stumbled into with Palpatine. I'll still die on that hill. I think they kept that door open as a potential fallback if they wanted to. Because like I remember, because
for sure.
fun if I have to plug the channel, like the Mark Thompson interview, like I picked up on that in the Force Awakens novelization because of Chaka, and I also was listening to it after Chaka mentioned that. There are hints in the Force Awakens novelization that kind of point towards that direction. You could easily be like, oh, it's Snoke, but you also could easily be like, that's fucking Palpatine. It kind of points both directions.
Yeah. But my introduction, I remember reading Cobb Vanth stuff and kind of like being it thrown away, but it being brought back in live action was very, very nice.
You know, and this was the confirmation that it was Boba Fett's armor that he found, because it was
Yep.
it's just mentioned as Mando's armor, as a
Yep, yep,
Mandalorian armor. in
Mandalorian
the
armor,
book,
yeah. Yeah, it wasn't anything very specific that.
I
made
mean,
it.
people assume, like,
Yeah.
people were able to connect the dots, but in the book, it's not.
Yeah, because
It's not stated that
explicitly
it's
said.
green or has a bolt. Has a.
It's just that, hey, this
flat
the
blaster
Mando
bolt.
armor that we found on Tatooine next to a Sarlacc pit. Like, okay, people.
yeah, because until Mando season 2, we used to joke about Boba's death and canon being like Kirkinger's cat, where it's like we don't know if he's alive or dead at the time, and this was still part of that era.
Yeah.
Even until episode 6, where
100%.
we're just like, is he alive? Is he dead? What the fuck's going on? Actually, technically episode 1, because we see him at the end, but it's still like, is he alive? Is he dead? What's going on?
Yeah, yeah, but no, I love the fact that Mando's like, wow, you're not a true Mandalorian. You took your helmet off the second, and that becomes a big player in this season. Like
Mhm.
this is the first episode, and he runs into that.
His
Like-
beliefs are being truly
Yes, they're being questioned, and this is
questioned.
like the very beginning
tested.
of his.
word I'm
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. So and like obviously, the whole sense of this episode was, all right, you got to work together to reach a common goal, and
Which I'm just a big slut for that story trope in general. Like I
no,
fucking
100%.
I love in apocalypse stories or like westerns, like, hey, there's two factions, they are clearly against each other and they're clearly at odds with each other, but there's a situation that's coming that forces these two to work with each other. What does the tension come of that? Like, what are the characters, how they're going to deal with that?
And then it's the fact that they all work together so perfectly, and it's a very, very good episode to start off a season with, for sure.
And I also love the way that this episode handles the Krayt Dragon, because I
Yes.
love how it perfectly blends all three versions of Obi-Wan's scream, because you hear the unaltered version first, then you hear the special edition like when it comes out of the cave, and then you hear like the
Yes.
full on like what we know now as of the 2011 Blu-ray editions with like the weird. I think that's my least favorite of the three. The woo! I hate that version so much. I think the theatrical and the second special edition are the best ones of that.
Oh god,
They
I
just
love
the
it.
third one just sounds so goofy.
It's so funny. I laugh at it every single time because it's Star Wars. It's so Star Wars. Think about it. It's stupid shit. We have the Wilhelm scream as well. So like, come on.
But the
It's
Wilhelm
funny,
scream
it's
wasn't
campy.
also Star Wars. It was just an
That
Easter
was
egg Ben Burr
19
found about.
Yeah.
So, I mean, bringing up the Krayt Dragon, when it's first actually introduced, one of my favorite parts of the entire series is when the ratio goes to 16:9 in like an IMAX
Yes.
style. And I'm pretty sure, and I don't think they've ever confirmed it, had COVID not happened, I'm pretty sure the intention when doing that, it was that they were going to put that in the movie theater. That episode was just no doubt going to probably premiere just because of that ratio change. Because like, why else
Yeah.
would you go through that effort?
I think that and here's another hot take. I think they should just keep the ratio that full screen.
I disagree.
I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be entirely upset with that.
For me,
Neither would I.
I think I like really vastly prefer Mando to be 235-1, and like it to like visually be in the same aspect ratio as the rest of the saga. To me, 16:9 just doesn't fit the show. I love it for the sequence. I think for the sequence, it's fucking perfect because like it's really showing the scale of the Krayt Dragon. I think there's no way you could visually show that off without expanding that ratio to 16:9. But I do see your argument, Ryan, for it being a theatrical release, because I 100% could see this being like an IMAX limited release, kind of like what they're doing with Stranger Things and what they did with like Ahsoka episode 5. Which honestly,
Yeah,
I think
COVID
more
not happened, absolutely.
I think more studios should do this.
Dude. Oh, I could have. Oh my god, to see Ahsoka episode 5 in a theater would have been crazy.
No, that's why they did it for that. The nearest one for me was like Dallas. I didn't feel like driving 4 hours for that.
To me, the closest one was they had one theater in Seattle, and I was like, that's too much.
I was in Omaha at the time, so they didn't have anything. So,
but
yeah. Anyway,
I do find it funny that we're mentioning this. I know this is not gonna be relevant to Luke because I know he doesn't watch the show, but I find it funny that we're mentioning like streaming shows being in theaters with the announcement with Netflix with Stranger Things. Obviously, I got the tickets for that. Where it's like I said, I genuinely think that more studios should do this for certain episodes.
I would agree. I think it was really awesome to watch the first 2 episodes of The Acolyte in a movie theater. I think that was really, really fun.
I think fucking House of the Dragon should do it. I know
100%. I think it would. I think it would smash. I think it would do numbers. But yeah, I love how we are in this episode, or we're adding on to Tusken Raider lore that eventually gets added on in Book of Boba Fett. Like it just gets.
When I was rewatching this, it definitely felt like this was the pilot or the pitch for Book of Boba Fett.
100%. How can we make Tatooine more interesting? The Tusken Raiders, as we've known them up until this point, are savages. At least we're taught to think that. And now Din's interaction with them in season 1 and now in this season goes to show you that, hey, the Tuskens aren't all just mindless savages. They're people.
Crazy concept.
They're crazy. They're people that can live out in the wilderness and the sands and have been doing this for thousands of years. And if you work with them, they're truly not the raiders that you think that they are. I mean, they are, but they're just doing it to protect their land in a sense, which is very Westernist.
A top moment from this episode for me was they're around the campfire and they're like making like this agreement between the two, and like as like I guess almost as like a sign of peace or a sign of a friendship or partnership, they offer him the fruit that has their water in it. And Cobb Vanth's like, what am I supposed to do with this? It stinks. I don't want to drink this. And like the one of the raiders freaks out, and the Mando like interprets what he's saying. He's like, you take our water, now you refuse to drink it.
Yeah,
like
100%.
You're insulting us here.
Yeah, 100%. It's like it's looking at things from a different lens or a different perspective. And even in our world, I feel like it's really hard to get out of our own way to not see things through a certain lens. You know what I mean? The world's not black and white. There's a lot of gray area in it, and I think that's why an episode like this in Star Wars is very, very important to, even if it doesn't hit you in the face, it's really good to bring, hey, there's different perspectives and other people that live in this galaxy. Like, let's shine some light on some serious topics.
Right. And it's like,
and
I think Ryan already
hit more of that in Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah. I think Ryan already hit the nail on the head, but it's like, especially with like this rewatch kind of a show, like episode 5 and this episode really do pave the way for Book of Boba Fett like crazy. Obviously, episode 6, but I don't really feel like as much outside of just, oh, Boba's back, he gets his armor. Obviously, we'll touch on that when we get to that episode, which I think that's going to be probably our shortest rewatch episode of the entire podcast, to be 100% honest. Because it's like, it's the shortest episode of the entire series. It's like 20 minutes of just straight shooting and fighting.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And I'll talk about
a memorable and badass episode, but like,
it is very,
it's the shortest script of the entire series.
Wow. But the irony is like, I don't remember that being a complaint. Like, I mean, when people complain about short episodes, they're complaining about short episodes, but I don't remember that being a big complaint.
Well, because
that episode.
Again, it's Robert Rodriguez doing Robert Rodriguez shit, and also plus at the same time, like, he was given creative liberty to do whatever the fuck he wants with that action. But anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves for that discussion. Again, like, I think this was just like, it's a fucking just it knocks it straight out of the fucking park with what it sets out to do.
Well, and the fact that the Crate Dragon presents such a like, honestly, they hadn't really touched on the Crate Dragon at very much. We saw it in A New Hope, but like that's all we really know of it.
We've seen variations of it. Like, I mean, this entire sequence, especially the ending, reminds me of the KOTOR mission.
100%.
The Great Dragon. Obviously, if I recall, the Great Dragon is not nearly as big as shown in Mando, which I think, I think they've established that since there's like different versions of Great Dragons, which is why there's like slight variations in how they look and the size and whatnot. But that was one of the big things, especially with, like, when they bring out the pearl at the end, because that's what you get when you kill the Great Dragon at the end of the KOTOR mission, is you get the pearl.
Okay, that's right. Okay, and that pearl is supposed to be made of kyber, correct?
I believe so.
At least in KOTOR. I didn't play it, but I remember them talking about that in.
Or it can take the place of kyber in some cases, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, obviously I was talking about how it brings the two communities together, it shows unity, so it shows that people, even with differing views, that have been trained or thought to, hey, we can't work with them. It ends up working out because they're able to make things happen, and I think that's very, very strong in today's day and age, where we're seeing so much divide, to show that, hey, we all are living on this planet together. We should probably get along and figure things out. But yeah, I love the fact that when Mando goes in and like sacrifices himself, he hits the jetpack right in the right spot as a montage to Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
I love that.
The homage
so
to Boba getting, like, Boba Fett, where?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just so.
Well, you even get that. You even get that
done.
reference with like Din like hitting Cobb Vance's back and then just setting him flying that way, his direction too, as well.
Yes, 100%.
He's like, get out of there, and he's just like, boom.
Yeah, it is. This episode is so much fun. It's so much fun. I rewatched it a couple of times. I re-listened to it on my way to work this morning, and then I watched it a little bit ago. It is one of my favorite episodes of Mando.
Yeah, I also remember watching this because this was. You remember like when Disney Plus would accidentally leak episodes early, and they would just leave it up.
Yeah,
This was one of those episodes that got leaked early. Like I think it came out around like 8 o'clock my time.
Oh, really?
And I remember watching it.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah, that's right.
I remember watching it, and like, dude, it was like that information travels fast. I remember Disney Plus's servers were like constantly crashing in the middle of that episode. Like every 15 minutes, it would just buffer, and you'd just be sitting there waiting for it to like resume it, because obviously you don't want to exit and resume it.
Yeah, 100%.
And it was just,
100%.
It was like that the entire episode. Like I just remember sitting there for like 5 minutes every single time it buffered, just be like, come on, keep working.
No, yeah, 100%.
So.
Right.
Just going back to the Pearl conversation, this comes from Gadgets and Gear, which was the companion piece for Fantasy Flight's Star Wars role-playing game. Rarely a stone would contain a kyber crystal that would remain in a beast's gut, being refined over the life of the dragon until it formed a smooth sphere. These pearls could vary in size from palm size to larger than humanoid's head. Because the pearls were formed from kyber, they would be used in lightsabers. A lightsaber equipped with one of these pearls emitted a very powerful and destructive blade that emitted a howling sound when ignited.
Ooh, that's kind of sick.
Yeah. Also,
that sounds like a Star Wars D&D character.
I mean, it's the Fantasy Flight System.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
I was gonna say, but like, dude, I think the most part of nostalgia that I have with Mando season 2, obviously not this episode because this one leaked early, was I think Mando season 2 was the first season where I stayed, because obviously I live on the West Coast. I would just stay up till midnight and watch the episode. This is when Chaco and Element Server was popping in book club, and I would just stay up every single night till midnight, hang on VC, deafen, watch the episode, and then we'd come back and discuss it, like as soon as the episode ended. Like I did that with every single episode of
I
season 2.
can't wait to go down memory lane when we get to the finale because I remember exactly where I was when that finale hit.
I remember where I
and
was as
it
well.
was so fucking nuts. But anyway, do we have anything else that we want to talk about with this episode?
I mean, not really much because I think we hit pretty much everything.
Any final thoughts?
It's fucking peak.
Best
Still a
episode of
banger.
the series.
I think it's the top 3 episodes of season 2, but like
I'd say it's a top 3 episode of season 2
To me-
for sure, and I don't even think it's a stretch there saying that.
I don't think I'm
honestly.
spoiling anything. 'Cause I've said it this entire rewatch. I think my favorite episode in season 2 is the penultimate episode.
Yeah, the penultimate episode's pretty good.
People love to give season 2 shit or whatever because they think that's when like the downfall really happened. If you want to say there was ever a downfall. But I was literally just thinking like this episode, the next episode that we're going to talk next week, which I believe has the ice spiders.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
the
the
ice
top one for me.
spiders.
The penultimate's a good
Really?
one. That's I really like that one. The penultimate, the finale, like there's bangers in there in here, man. Like I don't
There-
like. You can say it was the downfall, but it is.
I don't think it's a downfall. I think
yeah.
it was.
I
I
think-
think it was one of it where it was at its best.
This-
To be honest.
This isn't like spoiling anything. Like I think season 1 is more focused than season 2. However, I think season 2 has better peaks than season 1. If that makes any sense. I know it's a really weird argument to
there
say.
are much better. There are much better moments that I think people remember than season 1.
Yes, 100%. I honestly, there's not a lot from season 1 that I actually were like really truly rememberable.
Introduction to
think season-
Grogu, maybe the entirety of the sanctuary, and maybe some of the finale.
And maybe some of the finale, like Moff Gideon with the darksaber is the one thing that. What?
Oh, Ryan's internet died. Oh no. His ISP's coming after him again.
Uh-oh.
Because
We'll wait to end the
it's
show
usually
until he comes
it's
back.
always around like 6 o'clock my time. It's when his ISP goes.
Yeah, we'll wait for him. But yeah, I really like this episode.
Yeah.
It's really good. Kenny says season 2 had so many good episodes. It's hard to make a top 10 list. That's fair. That is fair.
I'm surprised he
Yeah,
likes the
fair.
ice episode because it's actually probably my least favorite in season 2.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking as well.
That and episode
Frog
5.
Frog Lady's interesting.
Frog Lady is certainly interesting. Dude, I remember
Frog
discussing
Lady-
that episode when that came out. That was a largely hated episode when season 2 was coming out.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there.
Your
It
eyes-
never, like it,
Your ISP hates you
it
again?
wasn't even that. Like I mean, it never like it. Like obviously, I noticed things disconnecting, but it never showed me actually disconnecting from my internet, and I just turned off my Wi-Fi and then turned it back on, and it was fine. So I don't know what happened. My computer might have just shit the bed right there.
Well, that's what happened to me on Gridiron Guys on Tuesday, where it's just like you're talking and then everything just disappears, and you're like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah, it does happen. All right, guys, that's going to be it for another episode of the Pod Ones podcast. Ryan, where can the good people follow you on the social medias?
They can find me at RyanPW on Twitter and TikTok. I am uploading some Destiny 2 Renegade stuff, and then I'll go right back into straight up Star Wars.
And you can also see him on Tuesday nights on.
There are other
Gridiron
people
Guys
on here. I was gonna let other people talk about it, you know. And Hereth just talked about it. So.
All right, Hereth, where can the good people follow you on the social medias?
The good people can follow me on social media. It's at Hereth Productions on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. Of course, as already mentioned, you could follow Luke, Ryan, and myself at Gridiron Guys for our football discussion. Our episode just dropped earlier today. If you want to watch us scream about Lane Kiffin for 30 minutes. And of course, you can follow
It's very, very good. It's
follow
very good
me
time.
on the Pod Ones podcast every Thursday night as we continue our Mando rewatch. Luke, where can the good people follow you on social media?
You can follow me at Jedi Master Eggs on all social medias. You can follow us at the Pod Ones on all social medias, and check me and Hereth and Ryan out on Gridiron Guys as spoken before. But that is going to be it for this week. We will be talking about season 2, episode 2 of The Mandalorian as we continue our truck across the galaxy in time for Mandalorian and Grogu. With that, We will see you next week. May the force be with you, and this is the way.
This is the way.